I think royal duty is extremely important. I think it's part of the fabric of what the royal family and any future monarch has, and it's something that is very important. And I take duty very seriously. I take my responsibilities very seriously. But it's about finding your own way at the right time. And if you're not careful, duty can sort of weigh you down an awful lot at a very early age, and I think you've got to develop into the duty role.
For years, the royal family painted a picture of unity: smiles on balconies, polite nods at state dinners, and carefully chosen words during public appearances. But behind the scenes, that image was cracking, and right in the middle of it all stood Catherine, Princess of Wales. She carried herself with dignity through public pregnancies, charity tours, and the constant pressure of being compared to Princess Diana. Through it all, she never flinched, but not everyone in the palace appreciated her quiet strength. Queen Camilla never liked how easily Catherine won over the public. While Camilla spent years trying to rebuild her image after the Diana years, Catherine walked in and was embraced as the new people's princess almost instantly. That created tension that was never acknowledged in public, but simmered behind closed doors. Then came Meghan. When she married into the family, many hoped her star power would bring a new, modern energy, but instead of bonding with Catherine, reports say their relationship grew icy. Meghan apparently saw Kate as stiff, too tied to tradition. Meanwhile, Catherine viewed Meghan's approach as reckless. Still, Catherine stayed silent. She didn't clap back when stories spread about her making Meghan cry, even though later it was hinted the opposite may have happened. She didn't engage when Camilla dismissed her royal work as safe and overproduced. And she certainly didn't respond when Meghan made comments about feeling unsupported by the royals. All this time, she kept showing up. But now, something's changed. Because the palace can no longer hide it, a confrontation happened that forced Prince William to finally break his silence. And when he did, he didn't hold back. And if you thought the palace drama was just tabloid fluff, this time the gloves are off and William isn't holding back.
It's something that I take very seriously, but with my family and with my role of air ambulance, for instance. I think there's a number of things I've got my fingers in many pies at the moment that I want to keep an eye on, and that will change as life goes on, and I'll take on more.
The tension didn't kick off with a big blow-up. It started with little moments, quiet dismissals, awkward looks, and words that weren't mean but still hit hard. From the outside, everything seemed fine, but behind those palace walls, a cold war was happening. Camilla, queen consort, had been trying for years to win over the public. She stepped into the royal scene with a lot of drama surrounding her, while living in Diana's shadow. So when Catherine showed up, it was tough for Camilla. Catherine didn't have to fight for affection, it just came to her. For someone like Camilla, who had spent decades trying to fix her image, that quiet popularity felt like a threat. Insiders say Camilla never attacked Catherine, but her words often had a sharp edge. She'd call Kate the pretty one in conversations, which sounded nice but had just enough sarcasm to sting. She'd make side comments about Kate's early charity work, calling it safe or fluff, hinting it was more about appearances than real impact. These weren't loud accusations, they were subtle digs, easy to deny but hard to forget. And then Meghan came into the picture. At first, people thought Meghan and Catherine might hit it off. They were both outsiders marrying into the world's most famous family, but instead of becoming friends, things turned icy pretty quickly. The whole bridesmaid dress drama painted Kate as the bad guy. Meghan claimed Catherine made her cry before her wedding, but later reports flipped the script, suggesting it was Meghan who made Kate cry, and that Kate even sent flowers to apologize. Whether it was that moment or something deeper, their relationship never bounced back. Meghan saw Kate as too polished, while Catherine thought Meghan was loud and too eager to shake things up. While Kate played it safe, Meghan seemed ready to bulldoze through. Over the years, headlines hinted at the tension of stiff body language at events, Meghan skipping royal appearances when Kate was in the spotlight, Camilla avoiding eye contact during family gatherings. The press called it speculation, but anyone paying attention could see the signs. Through it all, Catherine never reacted. No public comebacks, no leaks, no interviews. She just kept doing her thing. Publicly, she was graceful. Privately, she was worn out. Her calm behavior wasn't just who she was, it was a strategy. She knew that showing any cracks would only make things worse. So she kept it all in. But those quiet snubs turned into shade, and that's when things started to spiral.
More of a passive role in how she believes her role should be. She's above politics. She's very much away from it all and keeps herself out. And I've got my father who minds an awful lot about many of the causes he's involved in and really digs down into his charitable areas as much as he can. So I have an equal sort of idea as to how my role could benefit everybody in the future.
It was supposed to be a simple meeting at Windsor Castle, but from the get-go, something felt off. Camilla took the first shot. When Catherine politely questioned how some joint appearances were handled, Camilla shot back with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Not everything is about your little photo chances, Catherine. We all serve the crown, not just the camera. It sounded polite, but everyone knew the real intent behind it. Then Meghan jumped in. She had flown in from California, claiming she wanted to reconnect, but her tone said otherwise. Without even looking at Catherine, she added, "Some of us just don't need to be adored to feel useful." Short, sharp, and super personal. Catherine didn't respond, but her face changed. Not anger, just shock. For years, Catherine had put up with quiet jabs, passive-aggressive comments, and forced smiles. But now, in a closed-door meeting, the gloves were off. Camilla and Meghan weren't just disagreeing, they were attacking. And Catherine? She stayed calm, but clearly shaken. And then the door opened. What happened next left everyone in the palace speechless. The room was already tense when William arrived. He wasn't scheduled to attend that portion of the meeting, but a senior aide, sensing something wasn't right, quietly alerted him. He walked into wasn't just a disagreement, it was two women cornering his wife. Catherine was seated, saying nothing. Her expression was calm but clearly shaken. Camilla stood with her arms crossed. Meghan sitting nearby with that same tight expression she wore during icy royal appearances. No one noticed William at first, but when he stepped into the room and asked, "What's going on?" the air shifted. Camilla looked away. Meghan didn't speak. Catherine kept her eyes down. That was the moment William changed. According to multiple insiders, he started with Camilla and said, "You crossed a line. You are not her mother. You'll never be Diana. Don't speak to my wife as if you have that right." That name, Diana, hit like a brick. It was rarely mentioned inside palace walls, especially not in direct confrontation. Camilla froze while being rattled. She had spent years trying to distance herself from that shadow. And now, William had dragged it back into the light. Then he turned to Meghan. He said, "You do not get to fly in and tear people down. You walked away from all this. You said the institution was toxic, but here you are, trying to poison it from the inside. You are not a part of this anymore. Stay away from my family." Sources say Meghan tried to interject, beginning with, "I think you're misunderstanding," but William cut her off immediately. "I heard you, I saw what you did, and I will not let this happen again." Aides described the room as frozen. No one moved. No one spoke. It was unlike any confrontation they had witnessed in years. William, the one known for keeping the peace, had just drawn the line himself, with no filter, no pause, and no room for discussion. It wasn't just a husband defending his wife, it was a future king, Red, drawing the royal lines.
To be honest, I'm going to get plenty of criticism over my lifetime, and it's something that I don't completely ignore. But it's not something I take, completely to heart. I'm concentrating very much on my role as a father. I'm a new father, and I take my duties and my responsibilities to my family very seriously, and I want to bring my children up as good people.
The fallout hit hard and fast. William didn't bother asking for an apology or suggesting a private chat. He just laid down the law. No more gatherings, no more invites, they're out. It wasn't about feelings, it was a straight-up decision, and that choice sent shockwaves through the palace. Camilla was the first to storm out. No one said a word as she walked away. Meghan followed soon after, but Catherine just stayed put. She didn't need to say anything. William's words spoke for themselves, and in that silence, it was obvious that things had changed for good. Behind the scenes, palace staff got the memo right away. Events were shuffled around. Meghan's name was scrubbed from all future engagement lists. Camilla was told to steer clear of Catherine for a while. King Charles was filled in within the hour. Insiders said he wasn't angry, just shocked. He sat there quietly processing everything, knowing that William had just made a call that everyone else had to follow. Charles was stuck in the middle. Camilla was his wife, the woman he had fought to legitimize for years. Meghan was already a wild card, but Camilla's banishment had immediate fallout. But going against William would be even riskier. So Charles did what he usually does. He kept quiet. The palace never confirmed anything, but it didn't have to. The changes were already happening, and while the palace stayed silent, the public was already buzzing. Headlines across the UK echoed the same vibe. Future Queen bullied, William draws the line, and Kate's silence speaks loudest. News outlets focused not on the drama, but on the loyalty William showed and the composure Catherine maintained throughout it all.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
William's decision didn't just defend his wife, it quietly shifted the center of royal power. For decades, the monarchy operated under tradition and hierarchy, with Charles as the head and the rest following behind. But now, insiders say it's William who's setting the tone. After the Windsor confrontation, aides began referring to a new term: emotional quarantine. That meant reassigning duties, limiting interactions, and drawing clear boundaries, especially when it came to who had access to William and Catherine. Charles, caught in the middle, tried to stay neutral. He didn't publicly oppose William's decision, nor did he attempt to reverse it. But that silence spoke volumes. Behind the scenes, he was described as distressed, torn between defending Camilla and recognizing that the future of the monarchy restored in William's hands. And William wasn't waiting for anyone's permission. Meghan was no longer included in Windsor briefings. Camilla was quietly removed from joint engagements that involved Catherine. Decisions once run through Clarence House were now being led by Kensington Palace, William's base of operations. The balance had shifted, not by decree, not by statement, but by action. Royal watchers knew what it meant. For the first time, William wasn't just the heir. He was acting like a king. And wait, but what do you guys think? Was William right to exile Camilla and Meghan? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more royal updates.